I was wondering about, have we looked to the fall and mask usage for the students?
That's still an ongoing conversation. You know, I think at this point, the guidance hasn't changed from Blackout Public Health and the CDC. That's part of where we're going to continue to monitor COVID cases, especially over the summer, and still utilize those return to learn committee groups that we utilize to kind of make that determination. And we'll make sure, obviously, the board is aware, the public are aware, but we haven't made any determination so far.
So what would we do in a situation if a parent, you know, there are families fully vaccinated, let's say, and they do not want their child to wear a mask?
Yeah, right now our policy is still to wear masks. It's just important. You know, there's just from a protocol standpoint, I think Jane had mentioned this not too long ago, just around, you know, what we were talking about as far as that loss of instructional time and wanting to keep that up. It was in regards to the nursing conversation, but we've got a rhythm right now. We're only 6 weeks or 5 weeks out from the end of school. And
No,
so,
I'm talking about next, not this year.
Oh,
no, next.
gotcha,
I'm talking
gotcha.
about next
yeah,
fall.
next fall,
No,
that's a
not-
separate conversation. We have to deal with when we're making that determination as far as what's the next fall is going to look like. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, no, not now. No, not at all now. So.
Well, I do want to jump in and just say that as we're talking about and planning for summer school, we are still planning on requiring masks until we receive guidance otherwise. So we are going to continue with that for our summer school programming.
Steph, while you're talking about summer school, I know it said that you'd give us a little more information, but I have had a few high school parents in particular that have talked to me about when is it going to look like it did last year, or some of those. Do you have a sense of when that information will be available?
Yes, this week we'll put out a blast, I call it, a blast that will go out to all families. What we have done is we have, at all 3 levels, we've sent information to targeted students based on criteria at the elementary, at the middle, and the high school. But this week it'll go to everybody because we really wanted to make sure we had the capacity for the students who really, based on data, needed it. But then after that, the blast will go out this week for everybody.
So that would include someone who might be just looking at picking up a credit.
Yep,
it
absolutely.
might be, you know,
Absolutely.
or somebody who wants
Yep.
to take,
Yep.
you know, C3 foundations.
Absolutely.
And that all will be included
Yes.
in that, correct?
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
I just have a question, just out of curiosity. You're suspending temperature checks for the remainder of the year. On a typical day, how many students failed the temperature check?
We never did it for students, it was just for staff.
That was for staff.
Oh, only staff.
Yeah.
How many staff failed it?
You know, there were no staff that failed it. I mean, it was really another barrier just to make sure, and it came out of some issues in the summer where we had staff that were sick and had very high temperatures still enter into our building even after we had the daily health survey. So it was just another redundancy that we put in place. And as we looked at the data, while we saw fevers being a specific symptom earlier on, for some reason that changed, and we were seeing more asymptomatic issues later on. And so the temperature checks weren't helping, so we decided to suspend them.